Angie Stone's funeral. D'Angelo's tribute is stunning. The passing of an icon in the music world always leaves a void, especially when that icon was known not only for their unique voice and musical contributions but also for their impact on the culture, their collaborations, and their personal relationships. Angie Stone, an artist whose work was a blend of R&B, soul, and hip-hop, was one such figure. Known for her distinctive voice, her timeless classics, and her powerful influence on the music industry, her funeral was a poignant moment for fans, family, and fellow musicians alike. What made Angie Stone's funeral truly unforgettable was not just the emotional outpouring from loved ones and admirers, but the tribute that came from a deeply personal place, none other than her ex, D'Angelo. The two had been an iconic couple in the 90s, both individually successful and collectively a force in the music scene. Their relationship, though tumultuous at times, was one that many fans admired and remembered fondly. D'Angelo's tribute at Angie Stone's funeral was nothing short of stunning, offering an emotional, heartfelt, and unforgettable moment that perfectly captured the essence of their bond, both musically and personally. A tribute from the heart. When word began to spread that D'Angelo would perform a tribute to Angie Stone at her funeral, the anticipation was palpable. Fans of the pair from their musical heyday knew how deep their connection went, both personally and professionally. Though their relationship had ended years ago, the bond they shared through music, love, and shared experiences could not be denied. As the funeral service commenced, the mood was somber, a sea of mourners gathered in respect for Angie Stone. D'Angelo, dressed in a classic black suit, sat quietly among the congregation, his face a mask of sadness. But there was more to come than anyone could have anticipated. When the time came for his tribute, D'Angelo stood up from his seat and slowly walked to the front. The room fell silent in reverence, and all eyes were on him. With a deep breath, D'Angelo picked up his guitar, an instrument that was as much a part of his identity as his velvety falsetto voice, and began to strum the familiar opening chords to one of Angie Stone's greatest hits. The song he chose was "No More Rain in This Cloud," a song that perfectly encapsulated the strength and resilience Angie Stone embodied throughout her life and career. D'Angelo's rendition was raw, soulful, and intimate. It was more than just a performance, it was a deeply emotional experience that resonated with everyone in the room. As D'Angelo sang, his voice cracked with emotion, and the power of his delivery took everyone by surprise. He wasn't just paying tribute to Angie Stone's memory, he was also acknowledging the deep connection they once had. The lyrics felt like a message directly to her spirit, a testament to the love and respect they shared. It was evident that D'Angelo was not only honoring the artist Angie Stone but also the woman who had been a pivotal part of his life. The music that defined a generation. D'Angelo and Angie Stone were two of the most influential figures in the neo-soul movement that dominated the late 90s and early 2000s. Their music, steeped in soul, funk, and R&B, was a departure from the polished, commercial sound that often dominated the mainstream. Instead, they offered something deeper, more authentic, and reflective of the cultural zeitgeist. For Angie Stone, her rise to fame came with hits like "No More Rain in This Cloud" and "I'd Rather Be With You," tracks that showcased her rich, soulful voice and introspective lyricism. Her sound, heavily influenced by soul greats such as Aretha Franklin and Chaka Khan, was rooted in a deep love for both classic and contemporary music. It was a sound that spoke to the struggles and triumphs of the Black experience, and it resonated with listeners on a profoundly emotional level. D'Angelo, too, was an artist who transcended genres with his groundbreaking album Voodoo, which blurred the lines between soul, funk, jazz, and R&B. His sensual, smooth voice and his intricate musical arrangements set him apart as one of the premier artists of the late 90s. His collaboration with Angie Stone on the track, "Lady," is still considered one of the most iconic moments in neo-soul history. Their chemistry was undeniable, and it is no surprise that their personal relationship was as powerful as their musical one. Their shared history in the music industry meant that their tribute to each other would go beyond just one song or one moment. The funeral was a celebration of Angie Stone's legacy, and D'Angelo's tribute was a fitting tribute to the impact she had on both his life and his music. The emotional connection. One of the most touching aspects of D'Angelo's tribute was the personal nature of his performance. Angie Stone and D'Angelo had a complex relationship, one marked by both passion and pain. Their bond was formed in the studio, and they shared an undeniable connection that transcended the professional. They were two artists at the top of their game, both independently successful but also deeply intertwined in each other's creative journeys. In the years following their breakup, both Angie Stone and D'Angelo continued to evolve as artists. While D'Angelo's music took a more introspective and experimental turn, Angie Stone remained a steady force in R&B, continuing to release albums that spoke to the heart of the genre. Despite their personal differences, it was clear that D'Angelo never lost his admiration for Angie Stone, both as a woman and as a musician. At the funeral, as he sang, "No More Rain," it was clear that D'Angelo wasn't just remembering the woman he once loved. He was honoring the legacy of an artist who had shaped his own journey. His voice was full of emotion, and as the song progressed, it felt as though he was channeling every bit of love and respect he had for her. The air was thick with emotion as the audience could feel the weight of the moment, the deep sense of loss, but also the immense gratitude for Angie Stone's contributions to the world of music. A fitting farewell. Angie Stone's funeral was a bittersweet moment for her family, friends, and fans. While her passing was deeply tragic, the tribute from D'Angelo was a reminder of the lasting impact she had on the music industry. The song choice was perfect. "No More Rain in This Cloud" is a song about resilience, hope, and strength, themes that Angie Stone embodied throughout her life. It spoke not only to her personal journey but also to the legacy she left behind. As D'Angelo finished his performance, the room remained silent for a moment, as if everyone present was holding on to the emotion of the song. It wasn't just a tribute to Angie Stone. It was a moment of collective mourning, a shared understanding of how much she meant to so many. The funeral, while filled with sadness, also celebrated Angie Stone's incredible life and the indelible mark she left on music, culture, and the hearts of those who knew her. The tribute was one of the most memorable moments in a funeral that was full of love and remembrance. The music, the emotions, and the personal connection between D'Angelo and Angie Stone brought the room together, allowing everyone present to grieve, but also to reflect on the joy that Angie Stone's music had brought into their lives. In the end, D'Angelo's tribute was a stunning reminder of the power of music and the deep connections that it can create. Angie Stone may be gone, but her legacy lives on through the songs she created and the lives she touched. D'Angelo's stunning tribute was a beautiful and fitting farewell to an artist who will never be forgotten.